Welcome to Democratic Television, a program of the Santa Clara County Democratic Party that brings insights, perspectives, and attitudes of our always thoughtful guests. Today our focus is on Dr. Lauren Speeth, a Renaissance woman, a woman who is the founder of a nonprofit organization, musician, author, many talents. Thank you for being on Democratic Television.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Before we get into the show a little bit, and we're dying to know what Elfenworks is, what it does, where the name came from, I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
I was born in New York City. I grew up back east. I spent a year in India. And then I went to Mills College as an undergraduate, got my master's in business administration from St. Mary's College, where I'm a regent, and my doctorate at Golden Gate University.
I see. Hence the doctorate, Lauren Speeth. When you were growing up, did you have any inspirational folks, any teachers that made you think, Lauren, you have a special responsibility to make the world a better place? Or
so many. I think that my year in India, when we were working on a school there for the poor, my dad was, that was part of the inspiration, I think, and just the family in general did some work. My uncle, my father, and the whole family. So
you grew up in a family that believed in activism and let's make the world a better place.
We did.
That was the kind of discussion you had at the dinner table.
Right.
Oh, good. What did you do after college, after you got your doctorate, in terms of the world of work or whatever was your
Well, I was in
step?
Technology for a long time, but I was volunteering at Berkeley Reads, and I was doing websites, web design, that sort of thing. And it was a conversation with President Carter that really got me thoughtful about the possibilities for change-making. It was an extraordinary conversation, Steve. It really was.
How did you happen to have a conversation with President Carter?
Well, I'm really proud of the support that we've been able to give to the Carter Center, and I've been a personal supporter of the Carter Center for many years. They've been waging peace and bringing hope all around the world there, and you can just go to the Carter Center and find out about their work. But I had the extraordinary opportunity to speak with him in person, and I thought about what I might ask him, and I thought, well, how deluged are we all with these requests, and how overwhelming it feels, and he must be deluged beyond belief, way beyond any of us. I thought I'd ask him about it, and he was so kind to share his perspective and how he's able to structure the Carter Center and go about being non-duplicative, going into a space nobody else is in, and doing something that they're really good at and making a real difference. And I thought, geez, it's possible to have a plan. It's possible to use your own skill set in a measurable way and make sustainable change. And I went away from that conversation thinking, okay, we can have a plan. We can have a skill set. We can choose an area, and we can use our skills and find out a way to make a difference in this world. Individuals can make a huge difference, and if we get involved, maybe we can do something.
And that was an inspiration for you to want to put together an organization like Elfenworks?
It was. I thought that, and another conversation I had a little bit later with Ken Cragen, who was in charge of Hands Across America and We Are the World. Those two together sort of made me really think about what we have as our particular skills. He said, well, what are you good at? What do you particularly like to do? And I thought, well, we're in the Silicon Valley. We've got high-tech skills. We've got business acumen. I have a doctorate in business administration. How many people in the nonprofit sector are really hurting for the high-tech skills that we really can bring to bear? Can we empower them, raise them up, bring them to the fore and shine a light on them? So we thought of Elfenworks being the elves behind the scenes to raise them up and to to sort of empower the nonprofits. So we did the website of the Universal Healthcare Action Network, and we did the website for inequality.com for the Stanford Center for the Study of Poverty and Inequality, and put on a concert for Hope there and that sort of thing.
You are also a musician and author, and we'll talk about your latest book in a little bit. Do you find you're using those kinds of skills in the work you do, or call upon that for inspiration?
It's interesting that I would find my music skills to be useful, but yes, in fact, I do. And in putting on the concert for Hope, being a musician was helpful in producing something like that. Having production skills is helpful in we have worked with the San Damiano Foundation to put on co-produce a film called Faces of Poverty, to try to put a name and a face to the statistics behind the domestic poverty issue that we've got in this country. It was helpful to have the skill set that we did.
That sounds great. Tell me a little bit more about Elfenworks, because I know you do offer a lot of support for nonprofits and empowerment and helping them get more technologically sophisticated as they do their work.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a number of us. There are some attorneys and some web designers. I'm a web designer. John Watkins is the chief technical officer. We've known each other since, I think, perhaps 1982. We've been working together off and on projects. And Marion Sprague is the chief operations officer. There's Jacqueline Reyes in the front, and Tammy Hall, who wrote In Harmony with Hope, which is our theme. And there's so many of us. You can see an image if you go to our website. You can see all of us, the whole team.
And are all the people there full-time staff, part-time, contract, volunteers, or a combination of the above?
You know, what we're doing right now is, my dissertation was on telecommuting, my doctoral dissertation. Back in the day when it was so hard to find any managers telecommuting that I had to go to LA and Sacramento just to find enough to get a statistically significant sample. Now, of course, you just go next door, right? But I'm using the best and the brightest on the off hours they can give me sometimes. And also, I'm using, some of us are moms who have a little bit of extra time, and then there's some of us who are full-time. So it's a mix, it's a blend of the very finest people. Tim Schaller is the film editor that I'm working with right now. It's just, he did the Elfenworks Elf bumper at the beginning of our movies. It's just beautiful.
So it's a collage of a lot of people that, and I assume probably a growing organization. People hear about you, they want to get involved.
Yes, it's exciting.
Do you ask nonprofits to go to your website so that they can learn? Is it filled with information, or?
Yes, elfenworks.org we try to be a resource website for nonprofits, and lately, after we wrote Tracks of Hope, we have added resources for individuals as well, because we feel like, just like President Carter inspired me, we want to inspire everyone to be involved, because their involvement will make a difference. People's involvement right now will make a difference to get the whole country back on track, which I think that we've given dozens of reasons and dozens of ways, easy ways, just like they're changing their light bulbs right now.
Right.
And we in the Silicon Valley, we're the thought leaders. Everybody here and the audience who's watching, we're the thought leaders. We're the ones who brought about the whole revolution in thinking in global warming when Al Gore brought that call to action. And we can do the same thing with domestic poverty and inequality, that it's in the country's enlightened self-interest to do it a different way.